Please, Jonathan, come in.
I'll do just that.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
So, first of all, not to nitpick words, but he said the humanity's penultimate frontier. So which one is the ultimate then? This is something a lot of people do, not a lot, some. Penultimate doesn't mean like super ultimate or anything, it means the one before the last. So on a scale to 10, 9 is the penultimate score, with 10 being the ultimate score. So I guess he thinks another frontier is more important? I'm a living paradox.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'll be nice to him.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Okay. Interesting new thing to deal with. What can we find here? Hello. Ah, yes, Ackroyd. It may also sever its functions for good. Your young colleague is audacious and a daring surgeon. More hints. He's rare species of vampire. Econ. Volcods. Rakshasa, Shang-Chi, Pure Shen. I don't know if it's pronounced Pure Shen. I don't know. Huh. The brother to Saint Paul's been around for a while, it seems. My parole. He may not have been a doctor, but hey, whatever. New hint. Alright, Edgar.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have a few questions.
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
Oh, damn, that's a lot. Alright.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
So I'm not supernatural, I'm just different. A different species, I suppose. I guess that raises kind of an interesting argument about what's supernatural and what isn't. Generally, like when we say supernatural, it implies like mystical, fictionalized thing, like magic and so on. But if those things did exist and was a thing that naturally occurred in process of, you know, just life and death, I guess, they wouldn't be supernatural anymore. They would just be natural.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yeah, that whispering voice that keeps wanting me to murder things.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skald?
A Skald is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
How do Skalds come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
And by vampire you mean an econ, which is what I am, or econ.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
So, kind of yes, then?
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
Oh, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
Well, I'll do my best.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
Well, we have a new quest. Talk to the hospital benefactor. If I can find Clay Cox, I'd like to, but I did the whole Zen search, and I couldn't really seem to find him anywhere. Maybe out on the docks, but close-ish to the hospital. Still can't access Harriet. That's her. Over there. Oh, and an unknown. But there was two people, right? Yeah. Can we find Clay Cox first? Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reid. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
You seem a little bit
Why
better.
is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in the hospital?
Blackmail. That's not
Yeah,
my
I
style.
didn't say blackmail.
Too risky. A black market, though. Now that's where the money is.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
Who was he?
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favour.
I see. So, that's rather rough.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reid. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
If there's anyone that is fair to drink, it's this man.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude. All like
Jesus.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reid. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
Oh, you are such an asshole. I think
Do you ever think that
I've done everything,
you're
so
lucky
let's
to be alive,
check up on
Mr.
him.
Cox? I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Oh well.
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
You...
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
Prepare to die soon.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I can say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
Have you heard?
Black.
I got a hint, but I couldn't really use it to talk. Well, I mean, I gave him medicine, right? So, Clay... Oh no, that's investigations. Claycox will now be recovering, and tomorrow... he will have... I still need one more blood quality to get full. One more... and 2 hints, I mean, to get him to full. He's someone to drink. I didn't meet... How do I keep creating these things here? Oh well. I found Claycox at least. I think next up...
Consider the offer from that Cadogan fellow.
Oh, what? You had an offer from Cadogan? Anyway, time to talk to this new lady.